They're Earth's new apex predators. But one day we're gonna beat them.
Before we jump into things, I have to ask, there's a scene in the film Elevation where Anthony's character finds a box of macaroni and cheese, and it got me thinking about our favorite comfort foods. So if you were stuck in an apocalypse, what is the last meal that you hope to stumble upon?
Oh God, okay. Oh, I mean, mac and cheese is such a mashed potatoes and gravy,
Oh yeah,
easily.
100%. It's like the
100%.
warmest comfort food that you need.
Yeah.
Having in that territory where it's like cold and you guys are like bundled up. Oh my God, perfect. That's a great answer. So your character, let's talk about the film. Your character, Katie, it's described as, determined to keep the group alive, and she really tries to anchor things down. What is it that you feel drives her sense of responsibility, especially to Will, and making sure that, he's taken care of, and then their little pod basically that they have with his son is, intact?
I mean, obviously she is down bad for Will. She is so into him. So
Uh-huh.
that's at play for sure.
Mhm.
And he like all of the most of the men you're down bad for is emotionally unavailable. So, you know, that's part of it. Like, well, I won't lie, but I think also it's not completely unselfish. She is like a really independent person that wants more for herself than being stuck on
Yeah.
top of this mountaintop. I think in the past in her life, she's gone through times where she's felt trapped, and she's feeling that again. And I can imagine it must be really triggering for her. And she's just trying to claw her way out to some sort of new freedom.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And, something that I really enjoyed seeing, though, was the dynamic you have with Marina and Anthony. And you guys were really put through the ringer with stunt work. I think that was, I imagine, physically and emotionally challenging. And that ski lift scene had me at the edge of my seat. I did not know what to expect going into it. How did you prepare for those demanding action scenes? Because it is, it's something that we see different on, when we're watching the film, but
Right.
for you guys, it's a lot of like artistry going around, like acrobats and stuff, acrobatics. I would assume. Uh,
That made me think of something. Never mind. uh, when I was little, I had to do these acro classes, and I hated being upside down so much, and I would cry. Anyway, it just made me think of that. Uh, we had to train because we shot in Colorado in the mountains. So you see those scenes in the mountains. We're actually at quite a high elevation. So I think it was like a week and some change before we started shooting. We had to fly out there and go for like hour-long hikes in the morning every single day with a trainer to try to get our bodies acclimated to this elevation before we could even think to start running. um, so that was an interesting experience for sure. And the ski lift scene was so fun. It was so they had me attached to this harness and these ropes, and I got to jump off of this tower
Yeah.
onto the lift. And it was the first jump was terrifying, and the rest of it was just fun.
And I imagine, adding the dynamic of the creatures, for you guys, it's different. When we're seeing it, it's, all put together. When you
Yeah.
finally saw the product, how did you react seeing that scene come together? Because it's really fun.
There's this scene. There is this scene where we're in the mines and we're all like tucked against this wall, and the creature's tentacle comes in, and George, bless him, had this practical tentacle with like a light on the end. And we kept laughing because it would come up to our faces. And the guy that was like the puppeteer of it was doing a great job. But like
Yeah.
Marina and I just couldn't keep our shit together because there was this little light bulb on the end of this weird little plastic tail that was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very different on the day than it is in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
imagine, yeah, working alongside Anthony Marina must be so humbling, and it also exciting too. But I'm curious, what sort of insights or lessons did you gain from those shared experiences that perhaps also shaped your approach to Katie in your performance?
And working with them as actors.
Yeah, as actors, and then just applying it to what you bring to the film.
I mean, they both have experience in these like grander productions that I don't have yet. So and it takes a different kind of stamina and a different kind of, I think, acting process and creativity than, say, like an independent movie, which is something that I'm more used to, would take. And it was interesting to watch their approach to the scenes and to just kind of like observe and then say to myself, what am I going to take from that? And what of that doesn't necessarily work for my style? Uh, and working with them as people, like, was the best. They're both so funny and so wonderful. I was just watching this video of Anthony from the shoot where he was talking about his favorite movies that he was watching the night before, and I think it was oh god, it's out of my When Harry Met Sally. He loves When Harry Met Sally. And he
Oh,
was talking about how he tucked himself in for the night. He got his snacks, he got his whiskey, and he just watched Meg Ryan, his biggest crush. And yeah, that's just an example of how like
yeah,
soft and gooey of a person he is. So
so sweet. That's a great movie though, and it's perfect for fall. So I would
it's,
imagine it's perfect to get into the mode of like filming. I would assume.
yeah,
Yeah.
it might be
Mhm.
the best romantic comedy that exists to
Yeah.
me.
I totally agree. Before I let you go, I know you're back for the Recruit season 2, and I
Yeah.
know you can't tease too much, but can you kind of share of like what sort of impact Carolina might have on Owen's journey in season 2 and what we can expect from that?
I think you can expect that she makes his life a living hell.
Yeah, I would assume so after everything that's happened in season 1. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, very exciting. We're all excited for the Recruit. We're excited for Elevation. This was a wonderful film, and it's in the same vein as A Quiet Place, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.